what's good, Joshua Man, Bill Saint. Welcome. I really want to know podcast, man. Yeah, man, the verdict is in. Donald Trump found guilty in New York. Yo, what the hell is going to happen now? Let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Yo, man, this is crazy. Yeah, Donald Trump's been found guilty, man, of the crimes that he was accused of. He's had his day in court. The jury deliberated. They came back and found him guilty. Now, what's going to happen moving forward? I don't know. Hey, guys, this isn't going to be a very long stream. It's going to be real slow and glitchy. I apologize. Why? Everybody and a little cousin is jumping online right now. I'm looking at my strength or whatever as far as my broadcast strength here. I put out a little something. I was sitting in my room when the verdict came through. I was sitting in my living room like, what? So I just want to jump on just real quick and say, wow. Sorry I say about that. Wow. America's never been in this place before. It's going to be a lot of talk. It's going to be a lot of this, a lot of that. America is so split right now. You got half the country, they're going to be out there celebrating, say, yes, justice was served. You got the other half of the country is going to like, this is a travesty. You're going to have both sides of this. And I'm not quite sure where I land on this one. You know what I mean? Brother Pablo in the building was good, man. His appeal may take years. I don't know about that. It's a state thing. It's high profile. I don't know about that. But there's definitely some, and good to see you, Brother Pablo. There's definitely, there's a lot going on here. You can't completely dismiss the political side of this. Donald Trump has a lot of enemies. Just keep it 100. I'm not saying the man was, innocent. Obviously he wasn't. They found him guilty. You got 12 people of your peers. Now people are going to start splitting those hairs. You got 12 regular people. They're brokies or they're his peers. But it's one of those things where this is the American judicial system. It's not perfect at all. And to see it operate at this level, anyone who's dealt with the judicial system will look at this and like, come on, bro. He had the best team money could buy. Allegedly, how is it your team couldn't get you off of this? Of all of the cases that he was facing, all of the indictments, but it's 4 cases. Now it's 3 more remaining that he was facing. I thought this was the weakest. I thought this was a waste of money. You got 2 federal cases and 2 state cases. The thing in Georgia and then this thing in New York was state. I thought both of them were pretty weak, but of all the cases, the one in New York, I thought this was the weakest. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought this was the weakest. I thought this was a waste of time. It was a waste of money, but it was the state of New York. Do what they want to do. Hey, man, and look where it is. If you've ever dealt with the judicial system in America, you get an attorney, your attorney, especially if it's criminal, your attorney is going to tell you you don't want to go to court. You never want to go to court. You just don't know how it's going to play out. You don't know what a jury's going to do. Right? You got all that going on. And this is definitely going to be, the talk of the country here for a minute. Donald Trump right now is a convicted felon. He's a convicted felon. There's just no way around it. Right? Like just like Al Capone, who was gotten for tax evasion. There's a point there. Like if the government wants you, the powers that be want you, and they get you in that web, bro, they can get you. Now, he could have beat it. That prosecution didn't particularly have a strong case from those who were following it. I'm not one of the people who was following that thing. I didn't follow that case. People were asking me like, hey, this hush money thing, you think that Donald Trump had, he knew what was going on. You think he was guilty? Of course. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. But if you ask me, you think that's something they're going to be able to prove in court? I'm like, nah, like nah. But I don't know the law. But nah, brother Mandrell's in the building. What's good, fam? Like, nah, I don't think the prosecution would, beyond reasonable doubt and all that. Nah. But hey, I was wrong. And then people saying, they're gonna lock him up. They're gonna try. They're gonna try. I think his sentencing his sentencing hearing is going to be it's going to be pretty quick. That hearing is going to be pretty quick. Patrick Bet-David is all over this, of course. You know what I mean? Shout out to Patrick Bet-David and his team. And we're going to watch a little bit of what they were saying. But yeah, shout out to Pat. Yeah, July 11th. So they want to get this sentencing done as soon as they can. Bro, he could jail time. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, wow, that's a stretch. The man is a former president. Like, I definitely need more time to think about this, bro. Like, I need more time to think. But how do you handle something like this, man? Like, it's like no man is above the law, right? And that's been proven here. That's definitely been proven here. No man is above the law. What they got him on had nothing to do with running a country. They got him on, what was it, campaign finance violations or something like that. Man, I don't know. Brother Pablo wants to know what type of sentence, I think they'll give him. He has no other criminal offenses. He has other indictments though, bro. In New York, what are they gonna give him? Definitely some sort of, I don't know, bro. The question is, are they gonna try to lock him up? That's the question. Are they actually gonna try to lock him up? They could take him into custody now if they wanted to. If the judge really wanted to, they could. But will they? I don't think so. They're trying to put him on Rikers Island for their criminal justice system in New York. The state is there's no institution that's prepared to hold a former president of the United States. It's just one of those things, bro. Shit, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. And I'm looking at the chat on Patrick Bet-David's podcast right now. They're doing an emergency broadcast, talking about this. And this, you got a whole lot of Trump supporters. You got a whole lot of anti-Trump people over there. People talking about Banana Republic. You're talking about all this other kind of stuff. PBD, his audience is, conservative. Let's just keep it 100. He has a conservative audience over there. I like the guy. I like him. Met him in real life. He's a real cool dude. I like his story. I'm just looking at their messages, so you got this, you're going to have the other side, right? You're going to have the people who are anti-Trump, like the Young Turks and those kind of folks. They're going to be talking about what they're going to be talking about. Like, here's the message here. Make no mistake. We, the people, are soft, as they do not have the courage nor heart to act and do what's necessary in accordance to the Constitution and this tyranny, which is why the deep state is confident in getting away with their actions, period. You got a lot of people, and this is a black guy who sent that. You got a lot of people who talk a lot of that, it's time to water the tree of liberty and all that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of people out there who are going to say, all right, bro, yeah, we got some problems out there, but we're not going to do that for Trump. There's people out there like, nah, Trump is a bad dude. He's a bad guy. He's not the guy. Right? This is a dude, ask these same people who are talking all this Banana Republic and this and that. It's like, well, do you think Trump did it? Well, he was just trying to cover up infidelity and whatever, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, but he did it. And you can talk to folks like, but he did it. He had his day in court, right? I don't understand why he went to court. And here's the thing. Did he have the best and brightest legal team? Did he have the absolute best legal team the money could buy? No, he didn't. Why? Because he's notorious for not paying people, and the top tier attorneys knew it. So the best attorneys stayed away from it. They're like, nah, we ain't doing it. If you want me, bro, you're going to have to pay me up front 100% all my money. I'm going to name my price, so you're going to pay it right now, or we ain't going to touch this. So this thing with Trump, man, like he got caught up in the system he can't control. I know so many people got caught up in the system that you can't control it. And normally someone with a lot of money is going to be able to beat whatever case. Look at O.J. Simpson. Normally, if you have enough money, you're going to be able to beat your cases. Keep your eye on Sean Combs, Puck, Diddy. Keep your eye on him. With enough money, you'll be able to beat most things. So just keep your eye on that. But how is it he couldn't get the best the best team of attorneys in New York? I mean, think about that. Hell, Andrew Tate was able to get better attorneys than Donald Trump. Why? Andrew Tate pays people, man. Trump doesn't. But, back to the system. Is the system flawed? Yeah. Black folks and poor people have been screaming this forever. Cody's Kings in the building. What's good, fam? I mean, it is what it is. I'm definitely gonna, let me drop the link, man. He dropped the link because hey y'all, I don't know what to say about all of this. You feel me? Like, this is something crazy. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Pablo's like, I'm voting for him. I'm not a Trump guy. There's no scenario that I see with me voting for Donald Trump, but it has nothing to do with this part of it. It's other things that keep me from voting for Donald Trump. But as far as this goes, man, he got his day in court, bro. I'm looking at it like, how is it that he couldn't beat this? Players in demand, Brother Pay, what's good, man? I'm looking at it that way, bro. Like, how is it, you're a billionaire, you got all the money in the world, and you can't beat this case? I don't understand. Brother Mandrill, what's good, fam?
Okay, here's how you beat that deal. Did you pay people off hush money? No, I did not. Okay. How do you prove that he did? How do you prove it? You can't. So there's reasonable doubt regardless.
Apparently what got him
there's reasonable doubt. There's no videotape. There's nothing.
Right. So now it becomes, do you believe me or do you believe Michael Cohen? Do you believe me or do you believe the crooked guy that I hired to do all this? Because that's where it boiled down to.
Yeah, and he's a crook.
It boiled down to the fact that Michael Cohen made this move. Michael Cohen did this, and the whole case hinged upon, did Donald Trump know what he was doing? Did Donald Trump have the full awareness of what Michael Cohen was doing? And that would be the argument, right? If you had the best attorneys who were like, nah, man, we're going to argue that you didn't know. There's only two people who knew. That's you and this criminal, this convicted guy over here. Yeah, so they got to choose between the two.
And how do you right? And how do you prove that the Michael Cohen is telling the truth? You can't. It's your word is one man's word against the others. So it's a wash. Now here's the thing. I'm no fan of Donald Trump. I'm not. I'm glad he can't be president again because he's been convicted of a crime. And if you vote for him, well, hey, it's a true testament to the lack of intellect of the American voter.
There's a question about that, whether he can be president.
How's there a question? I mean, he only served one term.
I blocked you there, man.
Oh, well, did you?
He can't vote. He can't vote, right? But if elected, can he hold office? Is there any law out there that says a felon can't hold office? I don't think there is. There's a law out there that says you can't vote, but I don't think there's a law out there that says you can't.
And I'm against that law too.
So even as a felon, if he wins the election,
a convicted felon is president. DL, come on, tell me that this isn't interesting though. That's my thing about it. You cannot tell me that. Okay, he gets Secret Service protection for life. So where are they going to detain him? He can't go in Jim Pop. Are they going to put him in solitary?
House
the whole time? I mean, so what? Oh wait, come on, that house arrest? Come on, man.
Well,
really, deal? That's not going to suffice. A criminal is a criminal. You go behind bars.
hey,
so do you lose the Secret Service protection, or like there's no precedent for this? Like this has never happened. So this is new. We don't know, and I can't wait to see what is going to happen, man. I'm excited. I'm cheesing ear to ear. I really am. I'm excited, man.
But you're excited to see how they're going to deal with it. You're not excited necessarily that Trump got convicted. You're just kind of like, what's the country going to do?
Yeah, exactly. I don't care if it's hush money. So what? That happens. That's a part of the game. So that doesn't bother me. That's been going on so long until it's just a part of American politics now, and it's a part of business, and it's a part of everything. Sure. Because I mean, here's the thing: everybody has a price when it comes to that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? You pay somebody a certain amount of money, they're not going to say anything. But Michael Cohen got in trouble, and they squeezed him, and he just tried to throw Trump under the bus to get himself out.
I believe Cohen threw Trump under the bus because Trump didn't lift a finger to help him out. That's why. Another, you got to look at a lot of this stuff too. Trump wasn't a good kingpin. He didn't look out for his people. You look at all of his top dogs. How many guys, the closest guys to him, that had to sit down? They don't went to jail. You know what I mean? A lot of other Vikings in the building. What's good, fam? Right? You look at what's going on with Giuliani. He's going to be the next one to probably, wind up. I mean, his whole legacy has been destroyed. Cohen. What's it? Weisselberg? Is that the name of his accountant? That dude is either just got out or is about to get out. Paul Manafort. You have all these people who, like the presidents, Trump's closest guys, have all been, locked up for him. No money on their books, no help for the legal, for the legal team. Trump just leaves them out there. So I think Cohen was like, "Are you gonna do me like that? I'm gonna do you like this." That's what I think happened. And I do apologize, guys, for the internet, man. My internet, even though I pay for the best package, man, they be tripping, man, down here in Central Florida. Paid in the building, players in demand. What's good, fam?
What's going on? Did you already hit on? I believe this is not disqualifying for president. I think there's only
talked about that. Yes.
There's only 3 requirements: age, natural citizen, and a resident of the country for the last, I think, 15 years. Those are the only 3 qualifications.
So what's your take on all this? But what's your take on the fact that a former president of the United States of America is a convicted felon?
I mean, there's a couple things where I'm at with it. I think that his behavior during, I guess when the transition, when everybody went crazy, his behavior during that, in my opinion, was disqualifying. I don't know if there was enough to like go to prison or whatever, but that was disqualifying to be president. I don't think no sitting president should do anything other than take the L and leave, just to present the image, the optics of we believe in the system and we are going to comply with the wishes of the people. That should be whatever happens.
And you're talking about the peaceful. You're talking about the peaceful transition of power. That's what you're talking about.
Correct. There should always be a seamless transition. There should be no disruption. Whatever the numbers say at the end of the game, that's it. I mean, you could get out of office and then talk shit afterwards, but you give it up. It's the way it goes. I mean, it's not a good look. It's not a good look, and the country is headed down a dangerous road.
What you mean headed?
Well, I mean, if you look around us, this entire episode with him, getting caught for essentially just falsifying some records.
But my question is, what do you mean headed down the wrong road, bro? We've been down the wrong road.
I can see that point.
I mean, this is a train wreck.
I can see that point. Yeah, I can see that point.
Collided with. Look, everything going on with the economy. You know what I'm saying? This whole fiasco with Trump and his conviction and the 90 some odd indictments. I mean, I knew he wasn't going to get away with all that. It's too many. There was just too many for him to get away with all of it. But it's just I'm not saying that anything that you're saying is wrong. It's just, bro, that's just at this point now. I'm just saying, brother, let's call it what it is. We're screwed up. We ate up like a football bat.
Well, I
You know
mean,
what I'm saying?
I was saying headed down the wrong words, but for I concede your point, but I was saying that the judiciary should not be the weapon, right, that is used by the current incumbent, right. This was a political hit job. There's no way around it. This was, I mean, falsifying financial records. Yeah, it's a crime, but are you really of the belief that his name being Trump had nothing to do with why they just, the district attorney has the wherewithal to prosecute any crime. He has full discretion on what crimes he's going to prosecute. His name had nothing to do with why they picked him.
Well, yeah, it's a good get. If you can convict a former president, I mean, look at that. How do you beat that? How does anyone else top that on a record? You convicted a former president.
Okay, well,
you know what I mean. So I agree with you. His name had a lot to do with them going after him. It's a big thing.
Well, I mean, but the district attorney is not supposed to be in the
politics,
business
bro.
of he's not supposed to be in the business of political hit jobs. That's not. He's supposed to be in the pursuit of justice.
They're not supposed to be. And add to the fact that New York hates Trump. They really don't like that guy. So that whole system doesn't like that guy. So it's more than just political, right? You look at how they went after Bill Clinton. Look how they let Nixon off the chain, off the hook when he really broke the law. That Watergate shit was insane. Look, I voted for George H.W. Bush, but look how he managed to get away scot-free with Iran-Contra, and they had Ali Noor fall on his sword. Politics is politics. People gonna play their games. Trump, you got to know that if you get into the business and at least try to clean up on the surface, or at least take care of your hitters. I think Trump's biggest problem here is he didn't take care of his hitters, and he wound up, he wound up in the system. He wound up in court where you don't want to be with a subpar legal team. In my opinion, I don't think he got the best, because the best are gonna stay away from him because he can't pay the money. They're gonna come after you, bro. You know what I mean? It's just like saying, go ahead.
Yeah, in this particular case, the jury can be given instructions that kind of wouldn't really even matter what attorney you had. And I think Trump was kind of conceding the fact that it was a wrap. I think a couple days before this, he was saying that no attorney in the world could have gotten me out of this, because the jury can be given a certain set of instructions.
I don't agree with that.
I don't know. I mean, the jury can be given.
And the only reason I'm saying this, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, juries can be given instructions that there's no way to either you can be given the instructions to either all or nothing, right? Essentially, that unless all this stuff is present, we have to conclude this, and there's no middle ground. So, I mean, I don't know what exactly the jury instructions were. But I think the discussion between you two went a little bit around the fact that you can't really necessarily disprove a negative, and I'm like, well, that's not just because something doesn't exist doesn't mean that the converse is the only option, is what I'm saying. So Trump.
Well, I hear you, and here's my take. Here's my take on all that, brother. I hear you. Here's my take on all that. If you get the best attorney with this particular case, it never makes it to trial. That's what I mean. The best attorneys would have kept this out of trial.
This was going to trial. Well, I mean, okay, but that's not necessarily how the legal system works. Whether you go to trial, right, is the conclusion of an indictment, the grand jury phase. Your attorney is not even in the room, so you can't. The only thing that you're not going to go to trial is not getting indicted, but you're not in that room to, the grand jury is only going to hear the district attorney's argument, right? So there's no way to stop something from going to trial.
I'm not talking about that part. That's an indictment process. That's different. I'm not talking about that part. You know what I mean? That's going to happen, right? That's the prosecution. That's the system. But once that shit, you get the best attorney. The best attorney is either going to A, contest all of the best evidence put forth by the people and get all that shit kicked, right? or B, cut the best deal possible. It's not going to trial. You see, that's what I mean about that. Like, you're going to cut the best deal possible. That's why you pay all that money to the best, because the best attorney is going to sit there and tell you, like, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you cut the best deal possible. Does he have any money left? What I mean, that last the last.
That's it. That's the whole point. That was you're making my point right there.
$500 million.
And here's the thing.
I think
he's had subpar attorneys, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's had
subpar attorneys because. Go ahead and finish your thought.
Oh, no. I was just I don't know if you can necessarily lay this at the feet of just poor lawyering. I think this was a political hit job. There's probably close to nothing that he could do, and I think it's a weird state that we're in, right? Felons can't vote for president, but a felon can be one. That's peculiar.
Yeah. That's going back to Mandrell's point. Sister Jody's in the building. What's good, sis? And Brother Viking, I saw that, man. I'm definitely gonna have to holler at you, bro. I'm gonna have to get my router stable or whatever I need to do. I appreciate you, dude. And here's my point. If Donald Trump took care of the people who were taking care of him, I think he would have had a better team. I think we would be looking at a different outcome. Can we prove this? No, we can't prove this. That, woulda, shoulda, coulda shit pops in there. But to your point, we got a guy who's a convicted felon who is going to be, if the election were tomorrow, right? If you're looking at all the polls, that's the guy who looks like he's going to win the White House. Now, I think this, and Brother Mandrell, what's your take on this, man? Do you think this hurts Donald Trump in the long run, or helps Donald Trump? And before you answer that, I want to give a shout out to Brother D-Mac in the building. What's good, fam? And we also got the last good man in Jersey checking in. Appreciate you, bro. So does this help or hurt Donald Trump in this election, Brother Mandrell?
For people who like him, it's going to help him. For people who don't like him, it's going to hurt him. Or for people who are on the fence, it's going to hurt him overall, because there are people who are on the fence. This is going to take them. I don't think this is going to help his cause with them. People who are on the fence with him. He got indicted by like 93 or something like that indictments. He finally gets convicted of a felony. Now, granted, it's a weak one to me, and I do lean on the I do lean on the side that, okay, since you came after him and you got him with this, all right, yeah, somebody somewhere was coming after him. He was targeted. Like, somebody wanted him out of the way. If not a bunch of people wanted him out of the way, and he wouldn't go away. And so this is something to just move him aside so that they can go and do what they really want to do with who they really want to do it with. But overall, I think it will hurt him with people who are on the fence, one side or another. But it all depends on the Democrats too. It's the Democrats in a situation where this election is theirs to lose. You cannot rerun Joe Biden and think you're going to win this election. You can't do it, dude. Trump has an opportunity to beat Joe Biden. He does have that opportunity. They run Joe Biden again as an incumbent, the Democrats are probably going to lose to Trump. It sucks, but I mean, dude, look at Joe Biden's 4 years, man. Stop. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's failure on both sides. Yeah, I do. I think it's a failure on both sides. You run up Joe Biden and Trump. They're both losers. I mean, they're both their administration the same thing. They both hurt America. Why are we picking between these two dudes?
Right, exactly. Now the Democrats, if they move to run someone else, not Kamala Harris, someone else completely that's not of this administration, they have a shot at winning. If Trump actually runs again.
Well, he's running, man, because he's worried about the other cases. This is all the more reason to run. He needs to be president so he can beat those. If he's convicted of those two federal cases, the one in Miami is the one I would be most fearful of if I were him. He can pardon himself, but the state cases he can't. Brother Lamont, what's your take on that? Does this help or hurt Trump in the long run, leading up to November? We might have lost Brother Lamont. If you would, check your mute. Are you muted? There you go. Does this help or hurt Donald Trump? Going in this election leading up to November, Brother Lamont. And looks like you're muted. We can't hear you.
Yeah, he's muted. I don't know. Maybe
we got you now, bro.
There he is. I can't hear him though.
Yeah, still can't hear you. We can't hear you, Brother Lamont. And I'm pretty sure you got some good stuff to say. Brother D Mac had a good point. Like, how you going to turn on the people who know where all the bodies are buried, right? And that was my whole point. Donald Trump isn't loyal to the hitters.
He was not a good kingpin. Right.
You're absolutely right. He wasn't loyal to the hitters.
No.
You got to be loyal to your hitters, bro. Yeah, you gotta be loyal to yourself.
Now I have to turn my back on you, DL. I gotta turn my back on you. Hey. I can't be seen with criminals. Wait, but I did this for you. I can't be seen with criminals.
You ain't gotta be seen with me. You ain't gotta be seen with me. Nah, bro. Like, you ain't got to be seen with me, man. Just pay on some of this. You know what I mean? Pay for the lawyer. Put something on my books. Richard is saying this has made me go full support for President Trump. There are going to be some people who say that. There are going to be some people like after this, like, man, I really want to go with this guy. There are going to be Republicans, like just regular Republicans, not Trumpers, who are going to look at this and say that's the final straw. He's a convicted felon. I'm a law and order person. I'm going to have to, go the other way. I'm going to have to vote somewhere else. So I think this is going to play a role. I just don't know how serious. Brother Lamont, can we?
Is this better? Can you hear me?
Quick radio check. Can you hear us? Yes, sir. We got you now, man. So does this hurt or does this? Yes, sir. We can hear you now. Does this hurt or help Trump?
Well, I was saying that I think this is a net gain for him because the people who who love him are going to love him more. This is confirmation that the system is out to get him and everything is us against the world. So I think this is actually going to help him. I mean, in all honesty, I think that the election is going to be a blowout because Trump is ahead in places that he isn't normally ahead. He's got like double-digit support from black men, and it's going to be ugly. The way the polls are shaping up is going to be an absolute bloodbath.
Well, I think it's going to be a close race.
But he thinks that it's going to be an absolute blowout for Trump. My thing is, I certainly hope not. That's my answer. That's my rebuttal to what he just said. I hope not. But I can't say he's wrong because the way things look, DL, Lamont's got a good point, dude. The way things look, yeah, he could because, like you said, he's ahead in places he shouldn't be ahead in. He has an excellent point, but it's based on the polls, right? Especially when it comes to black vote, when it comes to the young black vote. Let's keep it 100. A lot of young black men don't vote. So when you catch these people in public and they're saying, yeah, I'm going to vote, are these people who are registered voters? Are these people who are likely voters? So I don't put, especially with the young folks, they're easily swayed. However, Donald Trump is getting traction in all demographics that tend to go Democrat. There's no getting around that. He is getting traction. I don't think it's going to be a landslide Trump. I could be wrong. I still think it's going to be a close election, but it's those polls, you got to take it with a grain of salt because a lot of people, and you got people out there trolling, right? You have people going out there intentionally saying the opposite to these people and these posters because they're so frustrated with the whole system and everything else.
But hold on, like the uncommitted vote, like in Michigan, right now, okay. Yeah, the only poll that matters is the one, on election day, but 100,000
right.
people. And I think that Trump the margin of victory in Michigan was only a couple thousand, right? And 100,000 people took the time to vote and handwrite in that I'm not voting for anybody. That's the issue with people not voting. It doesn't take any energy to not vote, but these are people that took time out their day to go tell you that they're not voting for anybody. That should scare the pants off of Democrats.
I mean, you would think it does, but they want to put Biden up. Biden won 4 years ago, and part of his platform was I'm just a guy who could beat Trump. I'm only going to go for these 4 years. And right away he reneged, which I was like, man, I hope he doesn't. And he did. and I can't believe the Democrats are backing him. But I still think this is going to be a close race. To Sister Jody's point, and I don't know if I gave Sister Jody her horn blast, but to Sister Jody's point, this might help RFK Jr. Because I mean, I'm a guy, you know, just look at personally, I'm a dude who's like, okay, I'm not voting for Trump. I have my reasons. I believe they're valid. I'm not voting for Trump. But here's the thing. That doesn't mean I'm going to vote for Biden. Because I'm really not, I'm okay with, let me choose my words carefully here. Biden was the guy who could beat Trump. I'm not exactly thrilled with a lot of the stuff that Biden has done, right? I'm not thrilled with the loan forgiveness thing for, you know, the college loan forgiveness program. I'm not thrilled with that. I'm not thrilled with some of the other stuff that Biden has done. But the thing that I don't like most is I don't believe that Joe Biden is going to be able to serve the next 4 years. I don't think he has it in him. You know what I mean? It's just it's not just his age, but it's just the way age seems to have just jumped on his ass in the past few years. He seems to be deteriorating. And I don't like Kamala Harris. So a vote for Donald Trump to a vote for Joe Biden to me is a vote for Kamala Harris. I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris. So all right, now I'm looking at RFK, right? So it's like, what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do? I think there's a lot of people out there like that. This is crazy, man. Like we've never been here as an American. Historically, this is a great time to be alive, man. Because this is like, holy shit, we got a felon.
Well, I mean,
Donald Trump, no matter what, Donald Trump is a convicted felon.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I will put my vote behind RFK. In this,
hold on, Andrew. Hold on. Let's let Lamont.
My bad.
Hold on, man, Joe. Let's let Lamont go.
Well, I mean, when you consider the fact that you know, over half of the people historically, right? Over half the people in this country don't even vote at all. So I mean, I don't think the world, you know, the sky is not falling. It's not going to be that bad. My take, I voted for a Democrat once. You know, I'm 53, turned 53 in February.
I thought it was just me.
Uh-oh.
Shout out to Night.
Shout out to driving out there. We get
shout out to
Night in the building. Joe Coons.
Yeah.
Night is on the chat, man. I see you, brother.
That's good, man.
Go ahead, man, Joe.
Yeah, the thing is, if RFK were to run,
what's good, Joe? Cool. We're gonna let man Joe get this point out, and then
I would have no choice but to throw my vote behind him, because the thing is, at this point, why not give him a shot? That's at this point, DL. Let's be real.
You mean you don't want the 34-time felon? You don't want the felon for president?
Hey, no. It's just there's a lot of different reasons why I would not vote for Trump, man. Like last election, I'll be honest, I voted independent. I voted third party, and people like, you just threw your vote away. I said, listen, I couldn't vote for either one of them.
You made a statement. You didn't throw it away. Even if you vote for either one, it's still a throwaway. You made a statement voting independent.
Exactly. It's just I couldn't vote for either one of them. But I'd have to throw my vote behind Kennedy if he was to run seriously. DL, that's just me.
I like Kennedy.
Yeah, same here. But
I don't know anything. I don't know enough about Kennedy. I'm starting to do research now. Joe Cool is on the panel. What's good, fam? What's your take on all this, man? First of all, what's your take on Donald Trump being found guilty? And moving forward, what does that mean for America? Former president of the United States of America is a felon now. What's your take on all this, bro?
First of all, the number of presidents who've been indicted on even one felony is one. Donald Trump, and he got 34 of them. So this is historic. And the trolling me deal, I ain't gonna bullshit you. I love it. It's theater. He's not going to jail. He's still gonna be president. I like a good show, man. I mean, you know, either one is in there to kill me and enslave me, and they all want to take my guns and my rights in the end. So I don't know. Sit back and enjoy the show. I want that motherfucker to be president, man. The world gonna blow up, man. Shit, everybody gonna be out in the streets filming with me there. Fuck that.
Man, that's crazy as hell, brother. Well, brother Lamont is back. Go ahead, brother Lamont.
Yeah, Yeah, every time I get a call, it drops. Something happens. I get an incoming call. Something happens.
You got
But
an iPhone, don't you?
the whole idea of somebody wasting their vote. I mean, that's interesting, bro. I never subscribe to that. 'Cause, for instance, if you in California, right, which is a blue state, does that mean I shouldn't even vote Republican because you're not going to win?
A good
You know,
point.
I don't. I resent the fact or the when people attempt to gaslight somebody into feeling bad because they didn't vote for somebody, and they say that if you vote third party, your vote doesn't count. That's exactly what it does. It does count. I've been voting green just about every year that I for president, and what it does, it continues to build your the amount of resources that you get from the state, because as your vote grows, as your representation grows, you get a corresponding boost in the assistance that you get from the state. So it's a slow process, but don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe in that you have to pick evil one versus evil two.
Hey, real quick in the back chat, Big Daddy, I think it's President. Can you flash your real? You don't have to cam up on the panel, but I want to see your face before I bring you up because I don't recognize. Anybody else know who Big Daddy President is?
No, never heard of that person.
In the back chat, bro, just turn your camera on real quick. Show me your face. Yeah, just turn your camera on real quick so I can see you, and then you turn it off again. Oh shit, man! Oh, this motherfucker.
Are you broadcasting?
Cody is King is in the building.
Cody is King. What's going on, man?
Cody is King is in the building. He just always changing his shit around. So fellas, when it comes to your vote not counting, I look at it a different way. Like if you're in California, for instance, and you're a Democrat, I say your vote doesn't count because the state is so fucking blue. If you're in Texas and you're Republican, I say your vote doesn't count. At the federal level, it does count locally. It counts locally, right? Because I look at it the other way. But here's the thing. Who cares about the top of the ticket like that? Because the most impact, like to what Brother Lamont was saying, is at the bottom of the ticket, like, school board and all that kind of stuff, your local city council and all that kind of stuff. That's where that's where the rubber meets the road. But Brother Cody, what's your take on all this, man, being a neighbor from up north? What's your take on all this?
Well
You're
said,
on mute,
Cody. Well said.
bro.
You muted, Cody.
Yeah, you're on mute.
For fuck's sakes, man.
There you go.
Okay.
We got you now. You were muted. We just now heard for.
Yeah, it more matters in like population. I don't know the right word to describe it. Like the feeling of the population. God, man, if my vocabulary was like it used to be, I could do this.
I think I hear where you're going. You're talking about in the attitudes of the people in whole. Is that where you're going? Is going to
like the overall sentiments. There's a word I'm looking for, bro, but I just can't fucking do it. But it does like it's better for that. As far as like it actually mattering, maybe to a point. Maybe if you're not using voting machines, but even then, people have been cheating for forever. But there's something you should look up if you are serious about whether you think your vote counts or not, with the same machines that have been used fucking in Venezuela, where they had their big fuck around, the same machines that are run out of Canada, which is where you had it done, right beside the offices of George Soros. But Kamala Harris was on not a panel, but a committee for it over a decade ago, I believe. For the same machines, talking about how fucking vulnerable they are to fraud, and how they have been seeing massive amounts of it in their elections for a long time, and are trying to figure out how they can bear down on it and solve that. So it's been bullshit for a long time, and I would say even more than that. On top of that, it's kind of fake in a play in general, because the United States fucking shut down, like the corporation, the country, like it's all been done for a minute in various different ways. But the corporation, like it ended with Clinton, man. He was the last president. And he even said that. You can look that up. He talks about how he is the last fucking president of the United States. And after him, they had the Florida Chads, which you should look up. Because it's when they stalled the election, because it's fucking, because it's fake. They had to make up a story.
The machines with the Florida Chad, if you remember, Some guy proved they had a little documentary or something. Some guy showed how easy it was to hack the machines and make the vote outcome who he wanted to. And that was during that Florida election with the hanging charge. Yeah.
There's been many cases of that though. And Kamala Harris, like I think she was headed the committee or she was on it either way, for the same machines.
And Cody, I got a question for you, bro. As an outsider looking in, I only mean outsider because you are our neighbor to the north. What do you think of this?
It's a white joke, wasn't it?
The trap and the guilty verdict.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, man. But I was like, what do you what do you think? Like, a former president of the United States of America is a convicted felon now. Like, what are your thoughts on that? And because I'm just gonna to get a feel for what does that mean to folks up there around where you are? Like, what does that mean?
I mean, it means fuck. To me, it means fuck all. To the average plebe, it might mean something. If they like, oh, because the authority said so, that means like he actually like did all sorts of hilarious things. But it's political persecution, and they've been doing it for forever. I think anybody with intelligence can kind of see that and is not surprised because this has kind of been coming for a few years here. They've been trying to do this kind of thing. But I don't think it makes a difference. Like, he's still going to run. Like, so let's say people
still going to be president. It didn't change anything.
Let's say people who weren't on the Trump side before, but already have felt that they've been harmed by, say, the system, and they see this going on. You're going to pull a whole lot of people to his side doing this because they're going to want to fight the injustice, right?
Yes,
and I think it's been obvious enough through these trials that it's bullshit. Right, so you're going to get a whole, just for that aspect too. I mean, there's other ways too. People see like, okay, well, clearly this is fake, so maybe like the rest of that is bullshit. So maybe I should fucking rethink this. But then you're going to have the ones who say, like I said before, like that just the fact that the authority said that he's bad, so that will change some people. They don't want to be associated with the social stigma because a lot of people are weak like that of other people thinking they voted for Trump, so they don't want to. That just because I don't want to get judged or fucking nothing like that, attacked.
I know.
Does that answer the question, DL?
It did. I mean, you made me think about that. I'm like, oh shit, you're gonna have some people who were caught up in the same system. It could have been something as simple as a jaywalking ticket or a speeding ticket. They got railroaded a little bit, and they're like, you know what?
Or the family court system, and they're being lied about the whole time, going like, this is not right, man. What the fuck is going on here? Right.
And they're like, you know what? I'm gonna vote for this guy now because it proves to me that the system is jacked up and this is my way of protesting. I didn't think about that.
It's going to reaffirm people's beliefs, and rightfully so, that the system is fucked. It's going to relate with a lot of people who have been harmed by it. And
will there be the opposite effects too? Would there be some people who say he has 34 felonies, I'll never vote for him?
Right. Just like people who say he was in what the fuck were they doing to him? It's not indicting, was it? It was something else. Impeached. Like as if that fucking meant something. Like, oh, your political opponents said that you need to go. Like, oh, shocker! Like, hilarious.
Right.
Okay. There are absolutely people out there throughout this whole process with Trump, going back to when he was in the White House, that said, you know what? If this guy ever breaks the law, if he's ever a felon, then I will stop supporting him. There are people out there who truly believe in the system. So that's the opposite of what.
And there are some who mean that, and some who are just virtue signaling to fucking grift, basically.
Like you were talking about, they just don't want to be judged, so they feel like they're saying the right thing.
Yeah, that's it, man. This is definitely. Go ahead, man, Joe.
That's where it's gonna hurt him. People who are actually like no BS on the fence about it. I do know some people like that. Like they do like him because they like some of his policies, but then they didn't like his behavior. But then these indictments came down. They're like, "Hey, Mandrell, you think?" I said, "Bro, it's nearly 100 of them. He's guilty of some of that. He can't. I'm like, he can't be in. And he's a billionaire. Of course, he's guilty of some of that. He has like,
you know what?
30. There's no way he's not. He's a billionaire."
I still stand by the fact that it's a fucking play, dude. And I bet you're going to see something stall the election come November because I say that this is a play and it's going to be just like the Florida Chads. I think they actually did it with Hillary too. Did they not delay the counting of that or something like that? in 2016.
What the thing is, what they did was a recount. And back to the Florida, I wanted to make a comment about what you said about Florida. Back in after, you're right, Clinton was the last president, because that next election, when Al Gore ran against George W. Bush, let's be honest, Gore got robbed. They stole that election from Gore. Let's be real now. Okay, yeah. If we're being honest about it, George W. They did steal that election.
I think it was fake, bro. I think Gore just did that to enhance his pockets. Was running for president and to push his green energy fucking bullshit agenda, which he's like one of the biggest fucking polluters. It's hilarious.
Right.
So I like it. What do you call it? Like a planted opposition? You know, like somebody who's designed to lose.
What we're wrong, Cody.
Because he challenged it. I know. Like I
what Gore actually did wrong is that the only part of that plan that went wrong is that Gore actually won. Right. Like that was the hitch that come along there. That was the screw in the mechanism that wasn't supposed to be there. The part that wasn't supposed to be there was Gore won. And so now they have,
and that's why they had to delay it and recount.
Right, exactly. That's why they did like 4 recounts or whatever, man.
Kind of like when you saw the fucking numbers switch live. Sorry,
let Joe Cool get a word in.
I just want to say Jeb Bush was governor of Florida at that time. They called the election.
Absolutely.
Florida, they called the results.
Absolutely.
Gore and Bush called and said, "Oh man, I lost." He was like, "Don't worry, it ain't over yet. Hold on, I'll call you back." And
how about that?
Yeah, I would say
Bush
this
was governor of Florida at the time.
I would say this. I think that if I don't know if I believe the notion that Gore didn't want to be president. I think he really did want to be president. I think he did. I think he was truly running. I would argue that Donald Trump never wanted to be elected president.
He didn't. I know that for a fact.
I think Donald Trump was going after. He wanted to be the next Rush Limbaugh, and he was like, "I'm gonna make this run, get close, and then when Rush bows out or whatever, kicks the bucket, I jump right in there and I got all these people." I think that everything's been turned upside down. It's kind of crazy. Like I really go ahead.
He did it to raise his profile. That's why he ran. He never. That's why he would say all the crazy stuff to turn people off. He never expected to win. He didn't want to.
And don't forget, he was a Democrat at first.
Right.
He did not need to raise his profile whatsoever.
Yeah, he did.
Like, that's solid, bro. He was the media darling for like 40 years?
No, but what I'm saying is, here's why I say that is because he was making, if he can get into that race and get close to it, okay, now he has more of the public eye. He has attention because most people didn't pay attention to Donald Trump in America. Most people didn't. So now that all the eyes on him, he can go back to these networks that he has television deals with and real estate deals and make different deals and renegotiate and put himself on top financially like that.
You know, he's an attention whore.
But the problem was,
the way of politics. I agree. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm telling you, I can tell you from, and I'm not saying this for first-hand information. There was no one on election night more surprised that Donald Trump won than Donald Trump.
There's a picture of that shit. There's a picture
all I can say about it.
Yeah.
I've heard that. If we're in person, I can tell you that story when we meet in person. But I can tell you, bro.
Well, go ahead, Cody.
I've heard that, but I think maybe it was the amount by which he won by that he was surprised. But that being said, like when he won that time, it was the most votes. And to what was Joe? Was it you or was it the other guy who was up here? Somebody said, like historically, not even half the population does vote at all, which is very fucking important and true. But when you have an absurd amount of people, whether it was real or not, and let's say Trump is part of a play and he was meant to be president. Because he's talked about it in interviews before, like he doesn't want to do it, and the only time he would do it is if he was asked to help the country. And there's theories around there that he has been by groups.
I don't believe shit that come out of his mouth.
Whatever. Fuck, where was I going with that? Oh shit.
There's half the population if you win by that big of a.
The fact that he won by like an astronomically high amount of votes, and it was even like somewhat similar to Hillary Clinton, like shows that like something's fucky here. No, that many people don't vote. Then for him to raise that number again, just to be astronomically beaten by Biden in votes, is complete horseshit.
I'm not sure that's true.
That goes against reality.
I heard him say that, and I looked into it. he wasn't close to the popular vote that amount of votes that some of the other presidents got. That he said I got more votes than anybody else. That was all bullshit. I looked at the numbers. He wasn't
Are
even
you
close to
talking
what
about
Hillary
percentage or total
That was-
votes?
I think it's
Which
total
you're looking at the
votes.
popular vote.
I'm
and
pretty
not
sure it's
the
total
electoral
votes, not fucking.
Yeah, I think it's total votes. I
Yeah.
can't Google it because I'm on the
Because
phone.
the popular vote would be the guy who gets fucking individually more than everybody else, right, or something like that.
Yeah, but
yes.
here's the thing: the crazy part about America is that the popular vote is us, the citizens who vote. That's the number, which is the one that's supposed to count. But if the electoral college comes out and says no, they
Well,
voted for the other guy, that's
because
the actual
it's
winner.
the
Which
party
is,
system and it's split, but it's all bullshit.
yeah, it is.
You know?
It's not a real democracy if just a small number of people can vote for the person and that person
Hey,
always
Jody.
wins. That's not a
Right.
real democracy.
Part of where I was going with that
So
though
no, man.
is
So
that it doesn't matter because it's fake. And I think by 2030, maybe a bit before that, we're going to see a whole different fucking system come in. I mean, for probably before that, but for sure by then.
well, Cody, continue. Let's roll into your final thoughts. I'm gonna wrap this up. I got some things I got to take care of, and then I'll probably be back later on tonight. But Cody, what's your final thoughts on all of this, man? Does this mean anything, or is it just more theater? Is it smoke and mirrors? What's going on?
Yeah, I think theater and smoke and mirrors, dude. It's distraction. There's like a lot of solar flares going along right now. So, I mean, that's been being talked about quite a bit in the media. So whether it's a distraction from that or whether it's just build up for the election or something's being passed in the bills that they don't want you to know about, something's going on. As far as like what comes of it, I think it makes no difference, really. I think that what's going to happen is going to happen, and it's planned out already. That's my final thoughts.
That's what it is, man. I appreciate you both
Yeah.
for always coming
Shout out
through.
to
That's
Cody.
for you.
Good to see you again, brother. I'm
Always
going
a
live
pleasure.
next week. Going live next week.
I'll
Okay.
be there. Brother Joe Cool, what are your final thoughts on all this?
Cody just made me think. Certainly, it's a distraction, and so my mind is trying to think what for. What pops in my head is they just sacrificed that the heifer over there in Israel. They might be making that play over there.
Did they do that?
Yeah, they.
Or
I think they did.
Did they actually sacrifice it yet?
They took it, flew them out of Texas, and they built the thing, and it was supposed to be over Passover. So that shit's passed, right?
I have no
It
idea.
was-
But I know
Yeah,
that they were getting
It was an 11-day period that they were supposed to do it, and that shit's passed. So that's the first thing
Interesting.
pops in my head.
Yeah.
I'll certainly
Joe knows
check
some
into that.
stuff. Okay.
I'm a conspirator, not like you are, bro.
And Brother Joe Cool, how does America handle this, in your opinion? What's going to happen next?
What could happen? Yeah, this is gonna be the greatest shit ever. He becomes president. If he does, and I think he will, Democrats are gonna lose their fucking mind. Trump's an evil, vindictive fuck. He's been tortured since he was president. Away from presidency, he is gonna go after every political opponent, right? That he has. He's gonna open investigations on Biden. Them. It's gonna be the greatest shit ever. And if he loses, conservatives gonna lose their mind, set shit on fire, and right. I think, the world gets more exciting, man. It won't get better. People will get hurt, more divided. But maybe it's what's needed to wake up, man, until motherfuckers get uncomfortable. Right? There's a saying, until your uncomfortability overrules your fear, you won't move. So when these niggas get uncomfortable enough, maybe they'll move.
Just a small question for you, Joe, before DL moves on. Do you think, and I don't want to put nothing out there, but just as you were talking, it made me think, but do you think if he were to win, your thoughts, would you see a massive Democrat push for civil war?
Yes, they're going to do something extremely. Let me be more specific. If Trump loses, the Republicans are more apt to do that. However, the Democrats will definitely act out. I don't think they're going to no Capitol buildings. They're pussies and all of that bullshit. But they're going to push for it, and
I mean, yeah, push for it, hire thugs, kind of thing.
Yes, but I don't think they can actually do anything, and I don't think they got that gangster gene that the Republicans got in them.
See, that's what's up. And Brother Mandrell is going to come for his final thoughts. And Brother Cody, he's probably going to give you a really good insight on that Civil War shit. I don't think it's ever going to happen. Seeing how Brother Mandrell is a former Green Beret. Brother Mandrell, what are your final thoughts on all this?
My final thoughts on all this is that things like this do happen as a distraction. Here's the thing. There are certain people who don't want this to happen. So it's not. He's not, you know what I'm saying? And it's like Cody said, will it matter? No, because it's all a part of whose ever agenda or whose ever's plan. Like this is supposed to happen. It's a script. You know what I'm saying? In other words, Cody's right about that. This really is a script because DL, you're asking the right questions. How does this guy with this much visibility, that many resources, that popular, not beat this case? It's weak, super weak.
Right,
How does he not beat it?
sure.
You know what I'm saying, DL? Like, how does he not beat? You're asking the right question. It's supposed to happen, dude. Like he's so good. It is. So my final thoughts is it going to matter in the end? No, because whatever the plan is gonna go on. That's why there's no real difference between Democrat and Republican. The same shit happens anyway.
Yeah.
No matter who's in office.
That's a good point right there, man. I gotta get that to you. And then it came in at the last.
Stop! Look, hope he was in.
Base Oracle we got brother Base Oracle on here. He's gonna give us his first and his last thoughts on all this shit, bro. What's good, fam?
Jeez. Okay. Yeah, actually, those last sentiments. What was it? Is it Marcus that was just talking?
That was Mandrell. That was Mandrell.
Mandrell. No, I totally align with what he's saying. And I know we probably got to discuss this at some point, DL, but I think voting is absolutely pointless at this time, other than the voting that we do every day, right? Time, attention, money. But voting at the polls, I don't give a fuck. And probably the biggest reason is, on top of what Mandro just said, nobody is willing to do anything about it when they do every time get in and not do the shit they said they were going to do, and they do the shit they're not supposed to do, and nobody drags them out by their fucking neck.
Right on, guys.
Can I just add one more thing?
Yes, sir.
To the words of Civil War, I agree that I don't think it will happen. I just think you're going to see a push for it, is my prediction. Oh God, what was the last little bit? It was just something Base said. Fuck me, I'm so bad at this.
Too much weed.
I need to get dry.
I didn't even start yet, man. God.
Getting dragged out, like not keeping their word, getting dragged out by their neck. Voting is what did you just say? Voting is pointless.
The real voting is done by lobbying and lobbyists. That's who actually gets to choose what's going, because they're the ones throwing the money at the politicians, so they get to decide what happens. And that's the reality of what voting matters. If people want to actually make something happen with their input and their force, start fucking actually showing up, lobbying, and harassing your politicians.
And not only do they throw the money, the lobbyists actually write the fucking laws. So to your point, Cody, that's who's really in charge. They write the laws. It used to be the lawmakers would write the laws. They would
make suggestions. Right?
Yes, but now they just write the whole fucking thing.
They literally write it now.
They literally write it. So this was a good conversation. I'm sorry I got to cut it short, fellas. But I'm definitely going to come back tonight. I'm going to come back tonight. Base, what you got going on tonight, bro? You going to be doing some shit?
Nah. I'm just hopping around. But if I could just say one last thing on what Cody just said. I agree with what you're saying, but nobody is willing to do shit about the lobbyists either. They're running around with untamed power. Nobody's checking them for the most part, right? You might see here and there, right? I don't even know the whole thing yet. Trump guilty, whatever. But generally speaking, the wrong people, well, actually, all the right people are not held accountable. And until that changes, until the people are willing to do anything, I'm not interested in any of it.
It's the left hand washing the right, bro.
I feel you, man. Brother IRS made it into the chat. What's up, man? Sorry it took me so long to acknowledge you there, bro. We're gonna leave it right there. Unfortunately, I will be jumping around from platform to platform tonight as well. I might even do a little bit on this platform. I want to react to what Patrick Bet-David and his guys were saying about all this. So I might do a little bit of that and then bounce around from platform to platform. Brothers, Big Daddy Pilot. What you get? Big Daddy President, aka Cody is King. Joe Cool, Base Oracle, Brother Mandrill, Brother Lamont. I want to thank all y'all for jumping up here. Everybody in the chat, I appreciate y'all, man. This is some crazy shit. My final thoughts on it is we're in uncharted territory now. All my homies is out there making all that drug money and they caught them felonies. Well, they could be president of the United States now. Looks like, or at least they can run for it.
Don't give up your dream, fellas.
Don't give up your dream, baby. It's a win for the hood. I appreciate everybody out there, man. I'm DL Saint. For everyone who's here, Base Oracle, Joe Cool, Cody is King. We out of here. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.